What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron.
It's Brian.
This is the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today, and we are starting it off again. The final episode, the final chapter of How to Save the NBA. This is part 1. I don't know when I'm going to do part 2, but just stay tuned. But right now, this is the final chapter of the How to Save the NBA part. So I want to get to...
Wait, we can't forget.
What's up?
We gotta tell the people Happy New Year. This is the first
episode. That's right. This is
2025.
It is the first episode of the Courtside View Podcast for 2025. Thank you all for supporting the podcast. Make sure to go check out the videos. The links will be in the description as well. Go check out the other podcast channel as well. We got the NFL, we got the NBA. Go check that out.
Y'all really seem to like that Chiefs video.
Yeah.
See, the one time B1 Grias is when we glazing the Chiefs.
It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. But I think I got a video for a follow-up video for that Chiefs video.
Okay.
I'll talk about it a little later, but we'll get to that soon. But regardless, how to save the NBA. So I talked about the three-point line. I talked about divisions. I talked about scheduling issues. I talked about college basketball. Links will be in the description for that. The final episode, I want to talk about the All-Star Weekend. This has been a glaring issue for many, many, many years now. And I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to give some of my solutions to what I believe the NBA should do to improve All-Star Weekend. So, number one, I'm not going to talk about Friday night. I'm going to leave Friday night out of this because I don't feel like there really needs to be much change. There's not really much they could really do. I'm just speaking to Saturday and Sunday. So number one, just getting to Saturday, we're eliminating that skills competition. Just throwing it out the window. Nobody cares about that. And we're bringing in one-on-one tournament. Now, this has been discussed by many, many people in the past, but me as the commissioner, I will bring in the one-on-one tournament, and the grand prize will be $500,000, which is a lot of money, especially for like rookie contract people. So I would do the one-on-one tournament, $500,000, and then for the dunk contest, instead of 4 participants, I will make it 6. 1 minute to complete a dunk. You're not allowed to do the same dunk twice. So, one of the problems I've noticed while watching the dunk contest is when a participant is doing the same dunk twice, it just doesn't have the same feeling. It doesn't have the same I don't know, like the crowd isn't into it as much because we expect it now. Mm-hmm. Well, to keep the unexpectedness, we have to make it such where you're not allowed to do the same dunk twice. And I give you 1 minute. I feel like 1 minute is enough.
Yeah.
30 seconds. I mean, I feel like 30 seconds. 30 seconds is enough. But like I give them 1 minute just because a lot of these dudes, like they love to miss dunks for whatever reason. So 1 minute, 6 participants. I don't like the 4 participants things because I feel like that's too little. It used to be a lot more. It used to be like 6 or 8. I want more participants in the dunk contest. I want to see more eyes. Limiting it to only 4 is just it's really hurt the product in my opinion. So that's how I'm gonna do with the dunk contest. And for the last thing, the All-Star game, we're going back to East versus West. Let's keep the tradition. Let's stop all the bullshit with the mini tournaments and all that. We're doing East versus West. And here's what I'll do to raise the stakes.
Okay.
We're going to do it like baseball, where the winner of the conference, they get home court advantage in the NBA Finals.
They still do that in baseball?
I don't know if they still do it, but
okay.
they used to.
Okay.
I think they need to do that to make the All-Star game more important, to make people want to watch the game. It makes the fan want to watch the game. So The prize will be, you might have some money involved as well. But the big prize, the reason why fans will tune into the game is not just because these are the best players in the world. It's because the winner of their conference will have home court advantage in the NBA Finals. I think it's only fair to raise just the competitiveness of the game. So that is what I will do. How to Save the NBA Episode 5, All-Star Game Edition. That's how I will say the All-Star Game. That's how I will save All-Star Weekend. What is your thoughts?
For the Saturday thing, I mean, that sounds good to me. Saturday, like, the dunk contest needs serious help. And I guess more participants would probably increase the variety of dunks we see versus seeing 4 dudes. And it's just like, oh, we did this one round, then boom, you win the finals. Like, what the heck is that all about? But then give it a skill competition. Honestly, I agree. A 1v1 tournament does sound much better because a lot of these dudes are like, most NBA players are unstoppable one-on-one, honestly. And that'd just be a great event to see. We see someone like Kyrie Irving or someone participate. That'd be funny. Fun to watch. As far as the All-Star game, East versus West home, winner gets conference gets home court advantage in the finals. I don't know how well that would go over, simply for the fact that if you're an All-Star on a team that has no chance of making the finals, why should you care whether your conference rival gets home court advantage or not? That's the only thing.
Then they'll be benched. Simple as that. If they're not on a competing team, then they're going to get benched. Okay, that's fine. We'll work around it.
Okay.
Majority of the players that are playing an All-Star game are on winning teams.
That is true.
We'll work around it. I assure you that.
Okay.
So
I do like the there needs to be some type of incentive for these guys that want to go out there and play. It
can't just be money. It can't be like, we're gonna give you $100,000 to your favorite charity. Like, no, bro.
No,
it ain't gonna work.
Something's gotta happen. So I ain't even mad at it.
Yeah, that's how I would do all this mini tournament stuff. Oh, we're gonna create 4 teams. Like, nah, let's not do that. Let's go back to the tradition, East versus West. Let's raise the stakes. That's how you raise the stakes. Adam Silver's not gonna do it though, because he's too scared. But that's how you improve the All-Star game. That's how you improve All-Star Weekend, in my opinion. And I think the one-on-one tournament, it doesn't even have to be a star player. It can be just guys that could be on the bench. It could be rookies, guys that are rookies. And what it will do is that it will show people that, these are NBA players. Like, yeah, they're on the bench. Yeah, they're young. They're rookies. They're not all-stars, but they're NBA players. These are the best players in the world. And it allows people to appreciate the talent level even more for the simple fact that if it's not a Kyrie, if it's not a LeBron, if it's not one of these all-star caliber players, and they're doing some crazy stuff on one-on-one tournament, it'll make people appreciate the game more. It will get more recognition to like players that, they were just on the bench. They weren't really known that much. Now they're more known than ever. I think the one-on-one tournament will be great.
Tournament, is it 3 dribbles, or you just gonna let them cook?
I think I'm gonna let them cook. I'm gonna put a timer on it. I'll probably have a timer on it.
10 seconds. If 10 seconds per possession?
maybe 10 seconds.
Okay.
Since it's one-on-one, I might.
I mean, 3 dribbles is good when it's like in like a closed open gym setting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to put it on TV, you probably will have to extend that to give it a little more flair.
Yeah. And then I don't think I would do make it take it, because then people
how
like
would the matchup go against like certain different positions? Because a guard versus center, like, come on now. Like,
that is true.
There would have to be like some type of.
That is true. That's a good point. I haven't thought about that. I haven't gone that far. I haven't gone that far. Maybe we could do a thing where
you could just do it
it's two. So let's say it's guard. It's like guards, wings, and then it's like bigs. Like, so it's like 2 separate competition where it's like big man versus big man, guard versus guard, or guard versus wing, and just have it like that.
Okay.
To make it balanced.
Because a guard is smoking any big in one-on-one.
Or we could just keep it guard wing heavy. No bigs.
True. That is true.
You know what I mean? That way it makes it a lot easier for people.
But then let's say Wembanyama wanted to participate, you gotta have him. You gotta make an exception.
I don't know, man. If
Wembanyama wants to do 1v1, I ain't gonna stop him. I'm gonna find somebody to play again. I'm like, where Chet Holmgren at?
We might have to do what they did with Steph and Sabrina.
Oh,
have just a special competition, and winner is crowned like the one-on-one king.
Oh no.
Yeah, have something like that. But yeah, man, that's how I do it. That is the how to say the NBA. Okay. And
they really, because All-Star Weekend used to be a really big deal.
Used to be an event.
Nowadays it's
boring as hell.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Exactly.
You know, I think it's like a week or two after Super Bowl too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, you're coming after the Super Bowl, and this is what you show.
Like the last really good All-Star Weekend was what?
2020.
2020. Yeah. 2020.
That was the last one because I don't remember. Like, unfortunately, Kobe passed. So like,
they actually
players.
Tried in that
the All-Star week. Yeah, the All-Star game was phenomenal, and then you had the dunk contest where Aaron Gordon was robbed again. Dwayne Wade.
Jones.
Because of Dwayne. Remember, he dunked over Taco Fall, and Dwayne Wade was like, "Oh, he didn't really clear him." Like bullshit. But anywho, that is what I think right now. Check out the 5 episodes, and we'll move on from here. Looking at the NBA landscape right now, I want to say this because I was watching the games yesterday, and I really enjoy watching the Oklahoma City Thunder because they're not a team that shoots a whole bunch of threes, mainly because they have to. They're not a great shooting team. But even still, like, I enjoy watching them. They know what they are. They know what they can't do. And they were playing the New York Knicks. And even the New York Knicks, I didn't like, until, like, late in the game, that's when they started shooting a bunch of more threes. And that's how they lost the game because they kept missing threes. The New York Knicks and the Oklahoma City Thunder weren't shooting a whole bunch of threes. And it was a really good game for the most part. Until about the end where, like I already mentioned, the Knicks, they were just jacking a bunch of threes and it wasn't going in, and the Thunder were making a bunch of threes. This is what I'm talking about with the NBA and the product, is that when teams aren't solely relying on the three-pointer, it becomes a very fun game to watch. When you see great defense and when you see guys just making a bunch of good shots, be it mid-range, attacking the basket, three-point shot, it becomes a fun game to watch. And I really enjoyed that Thunder versus Knicks game. And it's unfortunate it wasn't on ESPN.
It was on League Pass?
It's on, League Pass, NBA TV. And this is the problem I mentioned on one of my episodes of How to Save the NBA. Go check it out. Is the inability to market games, marquee games like that, where you have 2 of the top teams that were projected coming into the season, not even on ESPN. They had a bowl game on. What did I tell you about college football? I said it's the second biggest sport in America. College football is prioritized more now than the NBA. A bowl game between, I think it was Minnesota and Virginia Tech, was more prioritized than the Knicks versus Thunder. 2 teams competing for a championship. It's unbelievable how, like, just the landscape, how the media and these networks view the NBA now. It's incredible. But I enjoyed that game. It was a fun game to watch. Shai Gilgeous, he's probably going to win the MVP. And but speaking on the other stuff, like the NBA standings right now, the Thunder, they're first in the West.
No surprise there.
The Memphis Grizzlies, surprisingly, are second in the Western Conference. You have the Houston Rockets are third. The Lakers are fourth. The Nuggets are right there. Let me see.
The Mavs,
the Clippers, the Spurs, they just won. The Western Conference is just from top to bottom. it's been a slugfest. You have Dallas, you have Golden State still right there, Minnesota still right there. And then the Eastern Conference, you have Cleveland, that's the number 1 seed. They have 30 wins, 4 losses.
And have you heard anything from the Cavs in the media in the past week or so?
No.
Nope.
I remember my Lakers, they played the Cavaliers like a couple of days ago, and it's like, hey, they won. I think they've won 9 straight, maybe.
They won 9 out of the last 10.
Yeah,
so.
they've won a lot of games. I think they're on a win streak. Nobody's really discussing it. They beat my Lakers. It was still a competitive game, but we're still not there yet. They're a great team.
And it's not like they was beating bums. They beating playoff teams.
They're a great team. They're a really great team. The Cavaliers, like, they're legit. It's still early in the season. We're still in January, but as of right now, they're great, man. Like, they can compete with the best of them. I can't wait when OKC plays Cleveland not too long from now.
I got to see that.
Yeah, they play them Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I got to see that.
Yeah, on ESPN. So I can't wait for that game. That's going to be a great one. Remember that Celtics Thunder game? They playing Sunday. But that
This Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday. I know.
Why would you?
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's just like the schedule,
Okay.
bro. Like I mentioned this before, but it's just like the schedule. But man, right now I'm just
Honestly, the way, in my opinion, it's really difficult to get invested in the regular season when we're all anticipating a certain matchup. And I believe this type of mentality started them Warriors and Cavs years. Because every season we would go into season, yes, it would be some decent storylines, but we all knew at the end of the day it was these two teams was going to meet up again. Possibly a third team. Everybody else was just kind of looked at as fodder. Like, they're just filler until we get to the main arc of a story. And it kind of just feels like that this year. Like, okay, we got some players in the East. You got like 3 teams in the East that really could contend. But the Celtics are still the favorite.
yeah, they're still like
And on the
favorites.
Western Conference, people just waiting for the Thunder to pretty much just go to the finals. The Timberwolves is bad now. The Lakers, they don't got the dudes.
They don't got the dudes yet.
Grizzlies, I don't know what the Grizzlies are. The Rockets way too young, and
Way
Jalen
too
Green
young.
is not a winning player.
Nah.
The Nuggets, it might be over for them.
Yeah, I don't think they have
Mavs,
the firepower.
Well, how healthy will Luka be by the time he gets back on the court? And can they make another run? We don't know. So it just feels like we just wait for 1 or 2 teams to meet up in the finals, and people gonna start caring again.
You know what I don't like? I don't like how there's still like uncertainty with the Western Conference. Yeah, OKC is great, and Chet, he'll come back very soon. There's still a lot of uncertainty. We still don't really know. OKC is the only, in my opinion, great team in the West right now. All the other teams, I'm still waiting to see, like, around the trade deadline, what's going to happen, because I don't think there's really a second team that I can point to that can go up against OKC at this moment. Who goes after Jimmy Butler? Is it Denver? Is it, like, who goes after Jimmy Butler? Memphis? That's where the question lies for me is, what are these teams going to do towards like late January, early February? Because at this moment, I don't know what to really think about the Western Conference. When I look at the East, I know, okay, the 3 teams. The Cavs, Boston, New York. Those are the 3 contenders. The Western Conference, besides OKC, it's like, who the hell is really contending in this conference? And that's where, like, the question mark is right now with the West is who's the second team? Who's the third team that can compete for a championship? And I don't see it right now. So it's really hard to, like, talk about this league because of the fact that most of the contending teams are in the Eastern Conference.
For once, it used to be the other way around.
Well, there was a time, I would say 2019, when we had the Sixers, when we had the Raptors, when we had the Bucks. That was like the big 3 of the East, and then the West you had Golden State,
Houston.
And then, Houston was pretty much done.
2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, like, Chris Paul was coming back from injury. Harden, he was, like, carrying that season. Remember, that was, like, the year he got snubbed.
Oh, for MVP?
For MVP. So, that was the only time where I can remember where, like, the East had all the contenders. And the Warriors were, like, the only real contender that you could point to that can win a championship. This seems like very similar in the case where you have one great team and then the other great teams are in the Eastern Conference. Because I look at the West and a lot of these guys, like, you'll see them, they go on, like, a little losing streak. They go on a little win streak. Like, it's, like, up and down, ebbs and flows. While with those three teams in the Eastern Conference, you pretty much know what to expect from them. You pretty much know, like, okay, they're going to be contended. They're going to be competing. If you're one of these teams in the Western Conference, you better come with your best work because this team right here is great. So it's really hard to really talk about the West right now because Denver, yeah, I know Russell Westbrook, they inserted him in the starting lineup. He's like 9-2 or something like that. But then there'll be times where I'm like, damn, like they just lost 3 straight. Like they're such a up and down team where one week they're losing games, the other week I'm like, oh damn, like when did they start winning?
Exactly.
It's one of them things where it's just no consistency. This is why the NBA season is the 82-game season. It's a very long season. So it's very hard to, like, really analyze a lot of these teams. A lot of times we just got to analyze them how they are right now, presently constructed, instead of just, like, looking down the road. It's just really hard to really talk about the NBA.
Please change up these Western. I do not want to see Lakers and Nuggets for the 3rd year in a row.
Oh, come on.
Nobody wants to see that. That chapter has been closed. We need the Lakers against somebody else. Give us a Lakers versus Clippers series for once. Lakers gonna win.
Kawhi is expected to come back pretty soon. I think against the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how he looks. Keeps coming back from damn knee injuries.
His knee looks crazy.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like he has no cartilage in his knee at all.
You seen the commercial?
Mm-mm.
He actually talked.
Really?
Yeah, he actually talked. He was it was like
his New Balance commercial?
I think it may have been where he was it was like 2 versions of himself. It was like one of the versions where he's just fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like another one where, he's coming, he got the little car or whatever. Remember that car he had where the first commercial with New Balance, he was pretty much like poking fun at like LeBron and Lakers. I'm the crown, like I'm the king of the city. Now I'm the king of LA. So he was using that car and he was like pulling up to the version of him where he's like just chilling, fishing, pretty much insinuating like, all right, now I'm back.
Okay.
Like I'm not sitting on the bench anymore. I'm not chilling. Like I'm actually coming back. And so
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, he actually talked. I was like, what? He talked? We'll see how he looks though, because Kawhi is one of them dudes.
When he's playing, he's like
he's good,
phenomenal.
Like, he's still great. It's weird. He's one of them dudes. Like no matter how many knee surgeries, he still plays great.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's not supposed to happen. Like he really is a cyborg,
especially at his age.
He really is a cyborg, but then he always gets hurt. It's like he plays great, but then he always gets hurt.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, hey, you can play great now, but you're gonna get hurt a lot.
Boy, if other players had as many injuries he had in his knees, they'd be cooked food.
Oh,
but Kawhi, he just comes back and he's like, oh wow, this is a great player.
I also want to say this. All these like Darvin Ham believers, all these Darvin Ham apologists talk about, comparing the record of the Lakers 25 games in to the record of the Lakers with JJ Redick. Oh, they were better when Darvin Ham was the coach. All right. Now compare the number of games that they played to the number of games they played when Darvin Ham was the coach. JJ Redick is significantly better. We were 500 last year when Darvin Ham was the coach. And this is coming off of the in-season tournament. Guess what the Bucks are doing right now?
Losing.
Ever since they won the play-in tournament, they are losing. And people are like, oh my God, Darvin Ham, he's such a great coach. Being an assistant coach. Look what he's doing with the Bucks. See what the Lakers are missing. They're not missing anything. But nobody wants to talk about the fact that J.J. Redick is coaching his ass off. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that this team is 20-14 compared to Darvin Ham when they were losing like crazy last year during this point. Nobody wants to talk about how J.J. Redick is actually giving Max Christie a chance. It's actually giving minutes to Max Christie, allowing him to make mistakes, allowing him to improve. Now this dude is a starting caliber player. Now this dude is putting up 20 points a game. Now this dude is defending well. Now this dude is screening properly. He's doing all the little things properly. Now this dude is doing everything you need to do for the team to win. While with Darvin Ham, if he makes one mistake, if he turns the ball over once, he puts him on the bench. How is he supposed to gain confidence? LeBron James was literally going to the South Bay Lakers games, tagging Max Christie on Instagram, pretty much insinuating that, hey, Darvin Ham, give this kid a chance. And you know what J.J. Redick did? He was like, hey, we re-signed him for that contract. You're going to get your minutes. You're going to have to earn them. You're going to get your minutes. And he has been phenomenal. That is coaching. That is how you develop players. Oh, LeBron, he's a cancer. Oh, LeBron, oh, look, see these young players, when they leave LeBron, they play so much better. Well, look what Austin Reeves is doing. Look what Max Christie is doing. D'Angelo Russell arguably had his best year last season with LeBron. He broke the Lakers' all-time record for three-pointers made in a season last year. Oh, LeBron is a cancer. Oh, LeBron is this. Oh, LeBron is that. Propaganda, narratives. This is how people do it. Look what Thomas Bryant was doing with LeBron. When Anthony Davis was out for weeks on weeks, Thomas Bryant was averaging 20 and 10, 20 points, 10 rebounds. He leaves LeBron. He looks like a bum. That's no shade to Thomas Bryant, but he was looking like a starting level center when LeBron was dishing him the ball, pick and roll. What is he doing now? I forget he's in the league. So
what team is he even on?
Exactly. He was on the Nuggets, didn't do shit with the Nuggets, with the Heat, didn't do squat with the Heat. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about it. Anywho, I just wanted to get that out there. I want a little rant. Jimmy Butler. How you feel about the whole saga with Jimmy Butler? By the way, Shams, salute to you, my brother.
He stood on business.
See, a lot of these people on social media, a lot of these people on Twitter, oh, these reporters be lying. Oh, these reporters be capping. Oh, they don't know what they talking about. Oh, they be getting fake sources. Nah, not Shams. Shams sources be legit. Shams be having them. He be getting them sources from the players.
Shams be spoiling the NFL draft as an NBA insider. Like he obviously knows somebody.
Exactly. Shams is the number one guy. Don't ever disrespect Shams like that. I know I'm glazing, but regardless, if I was Shams,
is it Shams or Shams?
Shams might be Shams.
I know because Kay Adams calling him Shams.
It might. I think it's Shams.
Oh well, y'all know who we talking
Shams.
about though.
Yeah, you know who we talking about. Shams. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to him.
Jimmy Butler agent look foolish.
Right, trying to make him out to be somebody that has like fake sources.
Like, come on,
trying to hurt his credibility. Like we knew he was capping. We knew them niggas was capping the whole time, and I'm glad he's able to run victory laps over this. I would run victory laps over this. He's being very humble about it, but I would be out there. I'd be acting like 50 right now. I'd be talking my ish right now.
But yeah, true. But as far as the Jimmy Butler situation, listen, I don't blame him. I mean, when you look at it, Pat Riley. Pat Riley has done absolutely nothing. He's done the bare minimum to improve the roster.
Yeah.
even after making the finals.
Mm-hmm.
You was that close. You was knocking on the door in the final. You ran against a team that had better dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Spoelstra can only do so much. And then now your cheapness and your ineptitude and stagnantness of trying to improve the roster is coming back to bite you in the butt. The locker room is starting to be divided. Players want out. You reaping what you sow. And this is all Pat Riley's fault.
It is.
For his ineptitude
Mm-hmm.
and the front office as well, the entire front office. Eric Spoelstra's a great coach. Give him tools.
His pride, too. His pride and ego is getting away.
So, hey, you reap what you sow at this point. I ain't mad. Jimmy Butler, everybody should ask out at this point because the Heat, they ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad. I don't blame Jimmy Butler. He's given this organization all he had. He was playing hurt in the bubble, made the finals or whatever. Then he made the finals 2 years later and went up against
the Boston Celtics. Oh, the Nuggets.
No, Nuggets. Yeah, the Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
That was 2023?
Yeah,
Nuggets.
Yeah,
2023. That was 3 years later. Get a man some help. You didn't. You wanted to down that hill. So hey, that's where you just gonna have to stand.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame him either. I think Pat Riley, his pride and his ego. There was like a video that came out where he talked about like how difficult it is to try to trade. And I just be looking at him like, bro, that's BS, man. If you want to get the deal done, get the deal done. Why is it so hard for you? It's Miami. It's South Beach. What's so difficult?
Want to go there.
What's so difficult of trying to get a player? Why is it so difficult to trade for a player? You're not the Lakers. People don't hate you. Like, stop it. That's just the way it is. I just don't understand why it's so hard for him to not get a deal done.
Pat Riley's just NBA Jerry Jones.
He's just NBA Jerry Jones?
Yeah. Don't want to do nothing in the offseason, but expect to put a good product on the floor, on the field floor, and then when fans and stuff get upset, that he want to throw his hands up and say, why y'all mad at me?
And then, like, Tyler Hero, I would expect him to be traded. Of all people, I expected him to be traded. Yeah. I thought he was going to be traded, but he never traded him. I've always heard him, like, rumors, like, trade packages, the deals with him involved. Mm-hmm. He never traded him. Like, he always kept Tyler Hero. He's playing well this year.
Good.
But I always expected, if you're going to build a contender, that Tyler Hero was not going to be a part of it. And it just seems like that's not going to be the case. It seems like there's a power struggle as well when it comes to the team. Like, are they leaning towards Tyler Hero being the guy and Jimmy Butler taking a back seat? This year in general, they're still in the playoffs. Like, they're still one of the 8 teams in the playoff standings right now. But mainly because the East is just garbage besides 3 teams. They need to do something, man. And Pat Riley, he's just been sitting on his ass doing nothing. Yeah, move a rust, really. And that's why I said it. Whoever gets Jimmy Butler in the Western Conference is going to improve significantly as long as he fits their system.
Yes.
And he's going to...
I could see the Nuggets, honestly.
I feel like that's a perfect team for him to go to. Give up Michael Porter Jr., that is going to hurt your shooting
big time.
Significantly. So maybe, I don't know.
But considering a team, honestly, the Nuggets are probably trying to match up against OKC. And they're not really a 3-point shooting team, so you don't really got to race them to the 3-point line like other teams. So Jimmy, but that would be a good addition.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they would give up Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. They got to give up either one of them.
Shoot, I'd give up Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I'll give up Jamal Murray in a heartbeat, especially with that contract. But I don't think Miami's going to want to take Jamal Murray in that contract. I will say this though, because I was thinking about this while watching the Knicks and Thunder game, and I was also thinking about like the Celtics and how they play, how they like attempt so many threes. And I remember on Christmas Day when the 76ers, they beat the Celtics, but they attempted like so many threes. I think they may have attempted even more than the Celtics that game, and they won. And they made, I think, more threes than the Celtics, or they made like a higher percentage than them. I want to say this about my frustration with watching teams try to play the Celtic style when they play them. So this whole philosophy of in order to beat them, you have to play their game. I hate that idea.
Yeah.
To me, if you're not a team that specializes in shooting threes on an elite level, on an elite percentage, then you shouldn't be attempting 40 to 50 threes. You shouldn't be trying to outshoot the Celtics in three-point shot attempts, in my opinion. So when I was watching the Thunder versus Knicks game, it felt like when the Thunder were starting to hit their threes, the Knicks were like, "Oh, we gotta match them with 3-point shots." When in reality, no, you don't.
Basketball is a game of runs.
Just keep playing your game. It was still a close-knit game. Like, they were right there, and they just kept attempting threes. And this is my problem with a lot of these NBA teams, is that when a team gets red hot from three, when a team that is known for shooting a lot of threes and maybe hitting 40% of them, 37% of them, when you're going up against that team, the other team feels like they have to attempt just as much or close as much. Like, no, you don't. Like, just play your style of ball.
Yeah, a lot of teams out there that's reactive, and they try to play the way the other team wants them to play, and that's like, oh, you done lost because you went away from your game plan trying to go band for band, and you're not built for it.
Look at the NFL and some of the great teams. So you play a great team like the Lions, or you play a great team like the Chiefs or something.
Oh, my gosh. I remember them Chiefs years when they had that crazy offense and teams was trying to throw the ball 40 times and it just wasn't working.
Yeah, there's a certain style that some teams will try to do. They believe we got to match them. But then there's other teams that feel like, no, like, let's just play our game, and that's that. And then we'll win off of that. And sometimes it works. Sometimes they fail. But at the end of the day, you go down swinging. The NBA, it just seems like teams just can't get out of their own way. They just can't. They feel like they have to match band for band with what they're doing from the three-point line. And it's really frustrating, and that just hurts the product on the court. And it's hard to watch, really. It's very hard to watch.
Yeah.
I just had to say that out there because I just keep seeing that over and over again. And I remember the Warriors when they were going on their run. That was a big problem for a lot of teams. They would try to match the Warriors, and it just doesn't work. And I remember Charles Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny and all of them would say, "Why are you trying to be the Warriors? You're not the Warriors." The only team that came close was the Rockets. But guess what the Rockets did? They missed like 20-something in a row, and they lost the game because they were trying to be the Warriors. And that's the problem, man. That really is the problem.
That's honestly what I think with, like, when the Warriors was still the Warriors, and they had them crazy third quarters. I think it's because they was playing with house money at that point. A lot of times in the third quarter, they playing with house money. They're like, okay, we know we can play the way we play because we the Warriors. But if y'all start to even give a slight dip in production, trying to do what we do, we're going to blow you out the gym. And that's usually what would happen. Teams would flame out in the third quarter because the level of shooting they tried to copy was not sustainable. And then the Warriors would just say, oh, we just getting in our groove, so let's play. And then that's what happened. Now these other teams, they try to implement ways to get threes and good looks and stuff, but they just don't have the talent to pull it off like the Celtics.
Right. And
that's why I respect OKC so much, because they don't have to play that way.
No, they don't.
They said, we're going to let SGA cook you from mid-range, and we're going to play defense. And we're going to get good contribution from our role players.
Remember when the first game of the season in the NBA, it was the Celtics versus the Knicks. Mm-hmm. And the Celtics were just making so many damn threes.
Yeah.
And the Knicks, they're just like, we got to attempt all these threes. And they just weren't hit. That's what I'm talking about. There was another game beginning of the season. It was the Lakers versus Suns. And I remember J.J. Redick talked about how, look, the Suns, they're going to make all these threes. They're going to make all these crazy threes. And just keep doing what the game plan tells you to do. And it's going to work. And guess what happened? The Lakers came back and won by just sticking to the game plan. not abandoning it, trust it, not trying to go band for band for them from three, because that's not your game. We're not a great three-point shooting team. Just keep attacking the basket, hitting mid-range shots, attempting good open looks. And the Lakers kept doing that, and eventually the Suns lost the game. And I feel like teams need to do more of that. Play smart. Play smarter, not harder.
Speaking of the Suns, yeah,
it's time.
It's over. It's over. Y'all started off the season very strong. Now you're under 500, 15, 17 or something like that. Yeah, like I said, the three-star method is no longer viable in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And the way this CBA set up, y'all gonna have to get rid of somebody. And y'all can't get rid of Bradley Beal. No one's taking that contract. It has to be either Booker, KD. It's got to happen. Something's got to happen, or you're gonna have 3 stars that won't make the playoffs, and that is a horrible look for a team that was in the finals 4 years ago. It was in the Western Conference Finals 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, you got to do something. Matt Ishbia.
They have to blow it up.
Yeah,
honestly.
they got it. They really should.
They're gonna have to blow it up. It's just not working.
That Beal contract is untradeable.
If they don't get it together by late January, they need to make some trades towards the trade deadline to get KD out of there, and maybe even Devin Booker. I know Devin Booker, that's a hard one to like really deal with because he is homegrown. But you're gonna have to make a change. You can't just sit by and pay all these dudes all this money and it's not going to work out. If things don't change, I think they're 15 and 17 right now. If things don't change, you're going to have to just clean the slate. That's how I'll do it. We done with NBA. So thank you all for watching.
Hopefully,
make sure to like, subscribe, comment
get better,
below.
y'all. I believe. Kind of, sort of, maybe. I don't know.
All right, we'll see you all in next episode. Thank you all for watching, and peace.
Just let me be.